Hello, welcome back to the channel. We are currently on the MSC Seascape, and today we've been on for a few days. We wanted to bring you a video of what we love and what we hate about this ship so far. So let's just jump right into it. We're going to start with the things we don't like quite as much. And what's the first thing?
The very first thing that we don't like quite as much is the bathroom. It is fairly small, and specifically the shower. It is tiny. You get in there, there's just barely enough room for you to just stand in there, and like if you want to turn around or like, you know, shave your legs or whatever, there's really not a lot of room for, if you like drop something on the ground, your washcloth, whatever, it's gonna be hard to even lean over to pick it up because it's a pretty tight space, that shower.
Yeah, and the flow of the shower, it's not a strong flow, but coming up in the what we love, there is a way to kind of get around that, so stay tuned for that. Another thing that we really don't like is that for some reason we're in a balcony cabin, and if you open, if the ship is moving and there's some wind, if you open your sliding door and leave it open, it will make a terrible noise by the door where you enter your room. So I'm not a door expert, but it feels kind of like the seals, there's not a good seal there, so it's kind of like the wind is coming through, but the noise is just really bad. So you really can't leave, if the ship is moving, you really can't leave your balcony door open at all, or you're just gonna have to put up with that noise. Now that's bad enough, but the other thing is it's so loud that if anyone around you is doing it, you can also hear their doors like squealing. And
yeah, it's almost kind of like I don't know how to describe the sound, but it sounds almost like drilling.
It does,
but
sound
in the
like
distance,
drilling.
it's a really strange,
and
like a very loud, you know, almost zipper sound, but super loud.
Yeah, and just constant. And so the bad part about it is, like last night, someone decided at 1:30 in the morning they were gonna go out on their deck, and they left their door open, and it probably woke everybody up in this part of the ship. And then this morning at 7:30, another person decided they would go out early.
Maybe the same one.
Do the same thing. I don't think it was the same person. It was only 6 hours difference. But yeah, so we were awake for both of them because it's that loud. It can wake you up. So she sleeps with noise canceling headphones in, and she didn't hear it, but I don't, and I definitely heard it. I don't wake up that easily, so it is loud. Just something to be aware of. That's something I don't like at all. You know?
Yeah, definitely. The other thing I don't like, and definitely not for me, because I do get some motion sickness from time to time. I usually do fairly well, especially on a newer ship, and on this one in particular, it does seem to have quite a bit of rocking, and we are towards the back of the ship, and yeah, we're kind of in the middle because we're on, you know, the 11th floor here, but there is quite a bit of rocking. Actually, even right now there is.
Yeah, you
while
can
we're
feel
filming this.
You can feel it. The ship is
if we look like we're wobbling, that's why.
It's moving pretty slowly, and there are quite a bit of waves I can see out there right now, but we are rocking pretty good. And I think that'll get better as we go, maybe as we go a little faster. I don't know. But if you're concerned about that, maybe get higher up and more in the middle of the ship. So
because it does seem to feel a little bit better when I'm in the center of the ship. So you don't feel it as much. We were up there for breakfast, and you could not feel it as much. So it's not bad. It's not so terrible, but it's a little more than I'm comfortable with.
Another thing that we don't really like that much is this is to do with the food. Now, this is not the quality of the food. The quality of the food is fine. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But the lack of places to eat. So on a lot of cruise ships, you'll have your main dining room, your buffet, and then you'll have a lot of little kind of restaurants around the ship you can eat also. That's not really the case here. Here it is just the dining room and the buffet. And that's basically
unless you're eating in a specialty restaurant.
Yeah, but there's no like free around the ship restaurants, so I don't really like that much.
Yeah, didn't like that. It would be nice to have like other options, like you said. The other thing is we did get the internet package, and normally on a cruise ship with the internet package, you can interchange between devices, and we got it for 2 devices, but you can't change it. Like if I want to switch and use it from my phone instead and use it on my computer, I can't do that. Once you sign in into one device with your internet program, it is on that device only. So you cannot, even if you hit stop in the app and say you want to stop your service, or like pause it or whatever, you still can only use it on that device. So if you want to switch to a tablet or, to something else, you cannot do that. So just keep in mind, we bought the internet package for 2 devices and we can use it on our phones, but we cannot use it on anything else.
Yeah. Now we are using hotspots on our phones. So
yeah.
If you're going to pick one, pick your phone with a hotspot. That does work for us. So, the last thing on the don't like is the specialty restaurant pricing, and
it's a little wonky.
it's a little high for what you get. Yeah. So if you look at the the butcher's cut, which is kind of compares to like any of the steakhouses on the other ones, you get a lot more in the other ones, and it's actually about the same price. So it's really only a 3-course meal. You get an appetizer, the steak, and the dessert, and it's like $59. What we've found in that looking at the menu is that the a la carte pricing is actually better than the package pricing.
Right.
So I don't think it really makes a whole lot of sense to buy the package ahead of time. I think you're better off just either going a la carte or waiting for a special on the ship, because I'd like to try the specialty restaurants, but they're just too expensive for what you're getting.
Yeah, the pricing doesn't really seem to match what you're getting, and especially when you compare it to the other steakhouses, like you said, on the other ships.
And most of them, like if you're on an NCL specialty restaurant and you have the dining package, you walk in there, it's like you can basically get whatever you want. You can get steak, you can get like 5 appetizers, they'll bring you 2 desserts if you want. Here it's very specific. 1 appetizer, 1 steak, 1 dessert, and you can't even pick from the best steaks.
Right.
You can only pick from like the lesser steaks, like the New York strip steaks, and then if you want, like
and smaller,
smaller ones. If you want like the 24-ounce ribeye, that's like an extra $60 or something. So
there's another surcharge on top of it.
Yeah,
it just didn't make a lot of sense.
It's the same with the teppanyaki. If you buy the teppanyaki package,
there's 3 different levels to the teppanyaki
and you're not gonna
restaurant.
You're not going to get the one with the fillet unless you pay an extra $20. So it's
on top of the fee already. So it just doesn't make a ton of sense. Honestly, the a la carte makes the most sense. Yeah. And we'll stay on the subject of food as we switch over to the things that we loved. Yeah,
so let's stop on the negative, get to the positive, because there's a lot of positive things that we love, and we don't like to be negative. So the first thing is the food in the dining room and the buffet. It is phenomenal. It's excellent.
Yes. It's actually interesting because we've been on MSC before and found ourselves going to the specialty restaurants because we were struggling to find things that we liked in the regular dining room and in the buffet. But on this ship, we were talking about maybe doing one of the specialty restaurants, but we just can't really find a day where there's something we don't want on the menu, and the food really has been amazing. We're really just shocked. We're not gonna lie.
There's really no reason to go to a specialty restaurant here because the food in the main dining room has just been that good. And we are people that we almost didn't book this cruise because we've been on them before. We actually were on an MSC cruise, had another MSC cruise booked, and after we went on the first one, we canceled the second one because the food was just so bad. And we just rolled the dice on this one. It has been pleasantly surprising.
Very surprising.
It's been so good. So big plus for the regular food.
Yes.
Second thing is going to be the thermal spa area.
The thermal spa. Yeah. Wow, that is probably one of the best thermal spas that we've seen. Hopefully you guys have watched the tour, and on the channel here did a full tour video about it. Make sure you watched the whole thing so you can see all the different areas and see how big it is. And then also just the service back there is amazing as well.
Yeah, it's great. And the pricing was really good for us. We got the pre-cruise package for the pricing. We paid $277 per person, but it is a 17-night cruise, so that was pretty good. The per day price for the thermal spa is like $80 per person, $120 per couple, so definitely get it ahead of time. Third thing that we really like about the ship is the bed.
Yes.
It is so comfortable.
So comfortable. It's not too soft. It's not too hard. We're like Goldilocks. It's really just right in the middle. It's perfect. It's got a little bit of firm, but it's soft. It just feels good when you lay in it, and of course they're brand new, so
yeah.
So that's a bonus too. So yeah, it's been really nice sleeping
Next
on the
up
bed.
on what we love is the water park.
Ooh.
The water park, phenomenal on this thing. It's like normally we get on a cruise ship and we want to use the water slides, and they're kind of like miniature water slides like you'd see if you go to a real water park. Then it's kind of like the kids area water slides on a cruise ship, but these are like the full-on huge tube water slides, and they're a lot of fun and very cool. So I definitely recommend that. Now there is like a kids area too, but it looks good for adults too. So much to do here. This is probably the best water park we've seen in quite a while.
Yeah, it was quite nice. The next one is the staff, and again, this is something that they have struggled with on others of their cruise ship, but they have really made a huge effort and change on this one. We've seen that they've brought in staff from their other ships or trained from other companies, and they've really put forth an effort to really take that level up for their staff. The staff has been incredibly attentive and helpful. Anytime you have any kind of an issue, you bring that up, let them know, and they take care of it.
Yeah, it's like an all-star staff, because anytime we're talking to a staff member, they'll say to us, well, I was on the seashore last year. So basically they've promoted the best people from the seashore. They've taken people from other cruise lines, because the first few days of the cruise director's voice sounded very, very familiar to us. And we thought, who is that? And then it finally dawned on us, it's the same cruise director that we had on the Celebrity Apex.
On its maiden voyage in the U.S.
Yeah, last year.
We have that video on the channel too.
So they're taking top people from not only their cruise line, but other cruise lines, and they are really good. The staff is night and day from any other MSC cruise. Yeah. You're going to love that part of it.
Yeah, definitely. And what's the last thing is...
the game room and the Robotron. The game room is really cool. They've got the car simulators, the VR, they've got the arcade that looks cool, and the Robotron, which is now up and running. It is really kind of a unique, fun ride to see, and just to watch other people do it too. So,
for me, mostly just watch other people.
Watching people. But,
I don't know how much I'm going to get on it.
We did get some questions on the Robotron. It is $10 to ride. You can get a pass that gets you kind of like, you pay $150, you get $70 free dollars. So that would give you like $220, and they did say you can use that amongst a few people in your party. So
yes,
that's good, and just a lot of stuff to love. I think overall we love more than we don't, right?
Right. Yes. And you know, there's still other things that could come along, but that's what we've got from our first week-ish on the ship here. We're really enjoying our time here. Hope you guys are getting a lot out of these videos. If you have any questions about anything so far on the MSC Seascape, make sure to leave a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give us a like, and we'll see you on the next video.